Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother, man. Y'all see what he got in his hands. Having a little bit of difficulty. It's like the cards are so pristine, they don't want to leave the packaging. But you gotta leave the packaging in order to do the job. Bonite. Shout out to Sunset. Shout out to Tawi. Right? Shout out to Comedic Legacy. Got my cards, y'all. Check it out. Yes, y'all. Got new cards for y'all. New cards for us. Alright? It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Hey, to tell you the truth, if I wasn't doing this, public readings situation, then it probably wouldn't even be such a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? But, I know it's a big deal to some of y'all. They're like, get some new cards, brother. So I got some new cards. Hey, listen, you know what I mean? There have been criticism regarding, the publishers and, the availability of the cards and, dealing with the, the shipping and all that. Man, these cards came to me in like 2 days. No BS, yo. I put the order in on the website, on the Comedic Legacy website. Just like that. They came like, I even had a change of address because it was like an old address in there. I put my change of address in, you know what I mean? They gave me the customer service with the quickness. It was beautiful. It was pristine. Y'all, shout out to y'all. Shout out. You know what I mean? But definitely, I got my cards, y'all. Hot. I'm going to give some fire to the cards, right? Yeah, so I trust everybody's been doing well. You know what I'm saying? All set cycle, cooling out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not the cycle to be up in your roughness, right? Cooling out. You know what I'm saying? Getting your chill on, right? To the degree that life will allow you to, that is, of course. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta be out here in the thick of it. But where you can find time to chill, right? Meditate. This is definitely the time for meditation, y'all. This is analogous to about 1 in the morning, right? We are, it's not 1 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? But in the yearly clock, right? Right after, the solstice, right? Which was about 12 o'clock. We are at 1 o'clock in this situation. I'm going to shuffle these. Probably the only time you'll see me do this. Make sure I don't do it wrong here. Ooh, been practicing. Yeah. Alright, so got the cards. Alright, it feels good too. Fit properly in the hands. Feel great. Alright, so let us prepare ourselves to be talking to God here, right? As we get the energies for the week. Okay. For y'all that don't know, these hieroglyphics here on the card, this is the prayer that I'm about to do right now. It's Tehuti, saanuaqa, se keftaf, korpainaba, in aris hosabau, herupu when hatan to keftanu nebeche, korpain se ha digerum digeritu. And it's out. Tefnite ta Tehuti, Dwamalunite, Payabanitu, Ebanitu. It's Rakten, on the spirits of the Iking the Bagua, Chien. Kun, Chen, Sun, Li, Kan, Tui, Kin, Dwa, Dao. Answer that. I'm the spirits of the tarot, the major arcana, the minor arcana, the air, the earth, the fire, and the water. Dwanate. Dwell to my Shepsu. Thank you, my spirit guides. Dwanate. Alright, so we are ready to go. How y'all doing? Y'all been having a good week? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Whatever adversities, we let those roll off. Hey, I want to say shout out to everybody out there doing their spiritual work, because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? We come to this planet to do this spiritual work, right? This is where the work of it occurs, because we are in the 3D, right? It's rough in the 3D. You know what I'm saying? We don't have access to those things that we have access to out there in the, in the real atmosphere, right? The inner planes, right? But we're here on the 3D where there's limitation of time, space, reality, right? So, you have to go inward and pull out the spiritual aspects of one's person in order to deal with what's here. Shout out to anybody that's giving me any tests, challenges, you know what I'm saying? Those of y'all that call yourselves haters, peace and love, all right? I appreciate you so much. You know why? Because y'all forced me to go within. Y'all forced me to get with self. You know what I'm saying? Came in this world by myself. I'm going to leave this world by myself, right? So all the spiritual work, all the real significant stuff is done by myself. So for y'all that helped me to get by myself, right? Go into meditation, you know what I'm saying? Talk to the Shepsu, talk to the deities. Dwa'u so much. Y'all helping me grow so much. Y'all giving me so much energy. And, Dwanate, I just want to say thank you to y'all. Thank you to, to everybody, to the good and bad experiences that I've had on this planet. I just want to say thank y'all for all of that, right? You know what I mean? And definitely, look in the mirror and acknowledge, where life has honored you and helped you to grow, right? Because that's what we come here for. We come here to go through these experiences, learn ourselves through the experiences, So, to the degree that we can walk through these experiences and be in peace, there's power associated with that. And I thank you so much for helping me to come up on some power in this lifetime. Yeah. All right. So I definitely needed to say that word. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these readings. All right, let me make sure I'm mixing these cards up very well. Yeah, man. Because we here to do the spiritual thing, whether we know it or not, whether we know it or not. This is a test planet, right? People say a prison planet. I don't see this as a prison planet, right? It's only a prison if you are kicking and screaming through all of the challenges that you're getting, right? You're not supposed to be kicking and screaming through your challenges. You're supposed to be piecing it out, you know? Retreat to the place of peace. This is why it's good to understand the tree of life. This tree of life helps us to understand you, you know, the parts of you. You know what I mean? Life gets crazy. There's a place within you on that tree that you can go to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And from that place of peace, right, you find that things just fall off. You know? That's what we should be attaining to. We should be attaining to a state of peace within. Ooh. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Doing its head. Yeah, we need to attain to the state of peace within. You know, that's the only way we want to deal with the crap that's out here. Anybody from the hood know what I'm talking about. And not just the hood. You know what? Look, there are places on this earth where it gets rougher than the hood. How about that? Yeah, shout out to y'all. Shout out to anybody who is going through challenge on this earth. You know, you have the ability through that challenge to rise into your godhood. Okay? You have the ability to rise into your maturity. Cats know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, the Subsu know what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Alright, so let's get it right here. Let us get it right here. Okay, we are dealing with the week. Oh, isn't it a leap year and all that stuff going on? Oh, no, it's not the end of February. This is the start. Alright, so we coming from, this is January the 28th. We're going to February the 3rd. Alright, let me write this stuff down. Yeah, interesting. 6:06 in the morning on a Sunday. My neighbors want hip hop. The neighbors say it's hip hop time. Hey, I'm with it. You know me. I get my hip hop on. January 6. Alright, so we're going to hip hop through this thing. January 6 through. Oh, they left. Oh, man. Oh. So I messed the thing up. Alright, let's see. It said January 28th through to February the 3rd. I looked at the new type of F that I made. See, that's that. I'll tell you, man. That's that alien script. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta study that. You know what I mean? When I die, y'all gonna study my script, and y'all gonna get it. Y'all understand some stuff. All right. Yeah. Let me get my mean and means on. Hold up. Had to sip it. That's that mean and mean, right? Carrots, apples, pears, lemon, ginger. Good stuff. On the yum side of things. Alright, so let's do this. Okay. Ooh, okay. First thing we get, Sebek Tema'at. Sebek is coming out in the 10th. First. Okay. The trickster is on the case. Let us see what we dealing with here. Seker Hetep. Sebek Tem. Seker Hetep. Sebek Tem. Seker Hetep. Okay. So there's a need to get serious. So I'm over here joking around, being jovial. Seker Tem Ma'at, Seker Hetep. Oh, I said Sebek Tem Ma'at, Seker Hetep. Okay. Alright, so Sebek Tem in the case. Okay, there is something that's not being seen. There is, some aspect of things that is not being shown, right? There is some underhandedness afoot somewhere, Look around various characters in your life, the various circumstances, right? Look to where's your blind spots. Look for your blind spots. Where could you be blind this week? There is something, some aspect that you're not seeing the whole of, right? This could be at work, this could be, at home, this could be somewhere in your children's lives. Look to where you can't see, right? Seker Hetep. Seker Hetep means that something needs to stop. There needs to be a stop placed on something. Slowing down, right? A seriousness applied to life, right? To something. Some aspect of life has to get the seriousness now, right? There's all kinds of things being, told to us, right? There's all kinds of stories being made up about life, about the things that we're experiencing out here. You know what I mean? Oh man, I just ran across an old video I did, about a year or so ago, maybe a year and a half or so. I think it was the summer of 22. I did a video on the, that thing that we had to get the quote-unquote jab about. Yeah. Well, y'all had to get that jab. I ain't get that jab because I did a video that told me it wasn't about getting that jab. And anyway, at some point, they told me I had the flu. Oh, no, excuse me. They told me I had that thing, right? And basically, I was down for 2 days. What it felt like was I had the flu for 2 days. 2 days, okay? 2 days. I sat around, I slept and did this and that. After the second day, I was up writing. I was, doing my stuff. I was okay after 2 days. You know what I mean? And they told me that I still had it for the next 7 days. So altogether, it was supposed to be 9 days that I had this thing. And at the end of the 9th day, I didn't have it no more, quote unquote, right? But it felt like I had to. Before I got the last time I got sick before that was back in 19. It was back in 2020, the end of 2019, as a matter of fact. And I had the flu for 4 days, and that's what it felt like. It was worse when I had that flu than this thing that I had that they told me that people was getting jabs about and still getting booster shots, and now there's a new scare. Yeah. Okay? So what that told me was that what I already knew. See, and I don't know if there's going to be some type of flag, whatever. I'm just going to spit the truth out. Look, they need you to be scared. You know what I mean? They, whoever they is, they need you to be afraid. Okay? So, it's how certain people keep control of you. It's by making you scared. It's giving you a scare, okay, to, keep you in line, right? So they invent some new scare. There was a scare yesterday. There's a scare now. There will be a new scare tomorrow, okay? You know what I mean? To you who are out there who are susceptible to fear, this is for you. That's what it's for. It's to keep you afraid, okay? What does fear do? It messes up your energy. It messes up your, ability to think straight. it messes up your, your pathway, right? You might have things you want to do, but now you scared to go to the store. You don't got your mask, and now you nervous when you see somebody walking through without their mask, and that's throwing off your thoughts, and you know what I mean? Now you're not connecting with your brother or sister. You're not having the random conversations that you would, meeting people out there in the world, stuff like that, right? You're not meeting up and stuff like that. Why? Because they have told you that the scariest thing is going around, and it's going to, look, y'all better get off the shelf. Get off the shelf, folks, okay? They use these things to control you. How else do you control a massive amount of people? Think about it. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to fall for the scare, but there's going to be a mass of y'all who do, right? So they're going to scare you. That where they can, they will, okay? They're going to keep you scared, right? They're going to keep you in fear. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? There's a new quote-unquote variant or whatever. I ain't worn a mask in a year. I ain't worn a mask in it. Okay, am I lying? Yeah, no, it's been at least a year. I ain't lying. I'm out there in the world. I ain't worn a mask in a year. You know what I mean? I recently got a mask for the cold. I got one of those. You know what I'm saying? But, it ain't got nothing to do with, I'm afraid to get something. I'm not afraid to get anything. Right? The reading I got on that was Ma'at Tem Amen Tem. Right? Ma'at Tem. Ma'at Tem is a lack of sincerity. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sister who, recently got some counsel with me. Just reminded me of that reading. But yeah, it was Ma'at Tem Amen Tem. You know what I mean? They are playing on your fears and your conditionings, trying to keep you afraid, okay? And they're making you sick in the process, right? A lot of people got sick after they took that jab. So, y'all do with that what you will, you know what I mean? I ain't going to continue to spew off about it, but yeah, I said what I said. But I see this Sebek Tem here, you know what I mean? And that's a Sebek Tem thing. That's definitely a Sebek Tem thing when they're lying to you. When someone's lying to you about, what's going on. That's a Sebek Tem. That Ma'at Tem card that I got is, for the aspect of not being able to see the whole, that's similar to a Sebek Tem, right? So, be careful where, it involves people or yourself being sincere, right? Having something to do with sincerity, right? This is like getting your meditations, right? Discern, in order to properly discern things, whether you're dealing with people, whether you're dealing with systems, right? Get in your meditation, right? Stay meditated up, because they allow you to approach things at a slower pace. You know what I mean? And you can tend to see what's coming now when you're approaching life at a slower pace. All right? When you can shut down some of the influence of the world in order to deal with the world, right? That's when you can see what's coming, right? What's happening in front of you, So, Sebek Tem Ma'at Seker Hetep. You know what I mean? Be mindful of slowing it down. Yeah, slow it down. Whew, speaking of slow, it's already 25 minutes in. I feel like we just started. I feel like we just got into this. All right, let us talk to the I Ching. Straight stress. Straight stress. Chin on the bottom. Straight open. Straight open, closed stress. Straight open, closed stress. That is the 14th hexagram. Interesting. Second time I've drawn that hexagram this week. Going into the 54. 14 into the 5th. 54. 14 into the 54, lines 3 and 6. Stress. All right. Okay, 14 is possession in great measure. Okay? So, possession in great measure. This could be anything, right? This could be, well, not anything. This could be, whatever you consider as, possession in great measure. The oracle could be great measure, right? Possession in great measure, right? Because it connects you to God, right? The spiritual family that you have can be possession in great measure, right? This goes into the 54. Let's go to the lines, right? Let's go into the lines. First, let me go into my scrolls, right? So we switch up the flavor of the info so we can contrast and compare about this info here. Okay, let's go into line 3 of the 14. Okay, line 3 says, the prince presents his offering to the emperor. An ordinary man cannot do that. Cannot do this. I'm inventing words there, right? The prince symbolizes a man of superior talents, experience, and ability. Furthermore, this person is presented as being in the right position to render service to his lord. An ordinary man is insufficiently qualified to do this. These individuals will fare best when their service includes service to mankind in addition to the personal fealty depicted. Any attempts at taking over leadership could be disastrous. Okay? For the most auspicious, he will act impartially, or he should act impartially, and he will be virtuous and talented, possessing wide experience. He will not be egotistic. He should not be egotistic. This person's advice will be sought and followed, even in matters affecting the nation. Right? For the least auspicious, he may falter and begin to work with selfish motives. This could be disastrous. He will find it hard to establish anything of lasting benefit. So, okay, yeah, so, all right, yeah, be mindful of not being, egotistical, not working with ulterior motives, right? For the officer and official, he will have important duties, perhaps of a national scope. Business and professional, he will make gains and win distinction. Ordinary people, he will have a dull year with possibly some trouble. Okay, so don't be ordinary. Right? Don't be ordinary, folks. Superior persons know intuitively how to be successful. Okay, that's good stuff. All right. Don't indulge in pretense or airs. Right? Superior persons may proceed if they are careful. So it's about keeping it real. You know what I mean? That keynote is basically just saying, keep it true, keep it together. Don't be faking, don't be phony. Right? In your negotiations with people or whatever the case, right? This is the line where you're not getting petty. There's nothing petty about this line, right? Pettiness goes out the window when dealing with this line, right? He gives it to the Prince of Heaven. Like an ordinary person can't do that, right? He has his treasures. He affords you his treasures because he can do that. He's big enough to go ahead and give you some because the universe is abundant and he knows it's still coming from the universe, right? This is when you're not selfish, right? Let's see what the Shechem Shechem's E. King Crassus is speaking about this particular line. Let's see. Okay. It is important to realize that great possessions primarily come from God. It is important, therefore, to share your good fortune or wealth with others. Otherwise, you will be harmed by your good fortune. Okay? That's good stuff. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing was said. Okay, so they don't really differ too much in counsel there, right? You know, this is like, yeah, if you got it, give it. Don't be selfish, right? To all my hoarders out there, right? No, give up some of that what you got. Why? Because you are connected to the universe. Act like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, no man is an island. Everything is interdependence, right? What you give to me, you give to yourself, because at essence, we are the same. All right? Line number 6. Blessed and protected by heaven, advantages and good fortune. Good stuff. The height of clarity, supported by heaven, is depicted here. These persons will have the same fine attributes as those described in line 5. Line 5 is the governing line. So line 5 carries the greatest idea of, or theme of this hexagram, which is possession in great measure. This is one of the most beautiful hexagrams in this whole I Ching. It just presages a lot of good fortune, right? These persons will have the same fine attributes as those described in line 5. They will be even more highly favored, supported, and blessed by heaven. These persons will sincerely walk in truth and will be the devoted stewards of both material and spiritual possessions. They will be a blessing to others. For the most auspicious, he will be valiant, devoted, reliable, and modest. His virtue and talents will be in accordance with the will of heaven. He will intuitively carry out throughout a long and beneficial and rewarding life. Which he will intuitively carry out throughout a long and beneficial and rewarding life. Yeah, it's just like be a blessing, folks. Be a blessing to others, right? He will also be a man of virtue. This is for the least auspicious. He will also be a man of virtue and blessed, but not to such a high degree as the most auspicious. For office and official, promotion and fame can be expected, business and professional. He will have advancements and gains. Ordinary people, a good year. He will receive help from leaders and authorities. If a farmer, he will make good profits. Okay. For the keynotes, great clarity is blessed by heaven. Okay. And also, you are blessed by heaven. Be a worthy steward of matters put in your care. Okay. Yeah, so this is, telling you how to act when you have great possession. Right? Worldly possessions, right? You have riches, share your riches. Be a blessing to others is the basic lesson that we're getting here, right? Line 3 and line 6 are like paired with each other, right? And they have a very similar message here. They're both saying that if you have it, give it. Like, don't be a hoarder, right? I'm trying to link about this sebek, right? This sebek 10, this seker hetep, right? So far, I don't see this sebek, right? This could be anything, right? I don't see the readings, and very well, the readings sometimes speak to different aspects of a thing. So, should you come into a circumstance where the potential is great measure, be careful and look to the details. That's sebek and seker, right? So look to the details of things, right? Be they in contracts, right? Or agreements. You know what I mean? Look to the details, because that's where the devil lives, right? With the sebek 10. Right, let's see what Shechem says about that particular line. Let's see, line 6. When one is blessed with possessions in great measure, health, wealth, true friends, etc., it is important to realize that it was made possible by the sages who shaped society into a cooperative that makes prosperity possible. If there is a sage or enlightened leader in your midst, make sure to honor this person. God's love for man and its wisdom can only come into the world through a person of a sage. Okay, so so Shechem sort of focuses on the, line 6 is the sage in the general structure of the hexagram, right? So that's why you see a strong, dealing with the sage here, right? Line 6 is the sage, right? There's the beginning, there's the next level of development, which is like, the not the officer, but that which helps the king, right? The third position is like the conflict in the hexagram. The fourth is the minister. The fifth is the king, and the sixth is the sage. So, here we're talking about someone of high honor, right? Who should be, given high honor, right? Someone of high honor should be honored, I suppose, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so this goes into the 54. Now, the 54 is quite the opposite of what the 14 is in terms of a great hexagram, right? A hexagram that you want to see, right? The 54 deals with the breaching of contracts. Kind of like an agreement that is made. Now we see a sebek reference here, right? Now we see this could be an agreement that is made and broken, right? Interesting, right? Let's see. The marrying maiden. Enterprises bring misfortune. Attempted progress disadvantageous. The hexagram is composed of the eldest son, Chen, leading the youngest daughter, Tui. This is unfavorable in two ways. Firstly, because of the wide disparity between the ages of the partners in the marriage, and secondly, because the bride comes to the groom's house rather than he coming to her home. Hence, the omens for this hexagram are not very good. As is well appreciated, situations are often not what they seem. Okay, that's a sebek reference, where it seems this way, but you can't see the whole. And that is true in this case. There will be frequent miscalculations and misrepresentations. Extreme caution is recommended, especially at the beginning of anything new. Those depicted here will be enthusiastic and would like to be progressive. However, circumstances will circumscribe their potential and their usefulness. The inner hexagram shows that matters on the whole have already reached a state of completion, and that advancing further would bring about a state of decline rather than progress. Due circumspection can result in a satisfying life. Okay, so there is a lot of cause for caution there, dealing with that particular circumstance, right? So there is possession out in front, right? There's possession in great measure, the potential for, right? But then, there's the devil's in the details, right? The devil is in the details. Meditate, right? Stop even. Secker on the case, right? Let's see what Shechem says about this line. Y'all gonna see why I keep referring to Shechem's information, right? I actually completed the second portion of this I Ching treatise that we're doing, right? Where I read, right, into hexagram 1, right? And there's just so much information. The thing is like 2 hours long or something like that. Like, I gotta try and cut it down because there's just so much stuff there. What I did was I read from the I Ching transcripts, the transcripted series of lectures on the 64 hexagrams by Shechem Rao and F.R.M. And y'all gonna see, like, he just goes into so much depth level understanding about overstanding, whatever you want to call it, right? He's, very depthly, abreast of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go to the judgment on 54. The meaning of the 54th hexagram has been totally botched up by most commentators. The reason for the errors, besides not observing the meaning of the trigrams, was due to the use of polygamy as practiced in ancient China as the model for explaining the hexagram. By inspecting the lines carefully, we will see that the explanation of the hexagram through its trigrams and the complement 53rd hexagram is the correct way. Okay. The 54th hexagram is composed of Chen, the motivational energy above, and Tui, emotions and sensuality below. Right? Talking about the structure of the hexagram. Right? And we got Chen up top and Tui on the bottom here. Okay? When a person is induced to movement by emotions and sensuality, the results will not be good. To avoid the consequences of such behavior, the stewards of society put protocols to be observed for the regulation of people's conduct. There are many urges and passionate drives in man's life that must be regulated through conventions, protocols, to avoid chaos in society. This is a way of regulating certain passion-driven Tui behaviors that are natural but dangerous if not properly regulated. Protocols are put in place of the spiritual cultivation of the people, which is a most difficult thing to implement as we are dealing with such things as the Tui for food, sexual gratification, choosing a mate, a career, etc. Right? Saying that we're making decisions based on our loins, right? We're making our decisions based on our, emotional, sensual part of ourselves, versus the higher aspects, right? So if you're motivated this week, right, by your lower nature, then you could probably be tricked up, right? Sebek Tem. Now I'm seeing how this comes into effect here. Perhaps there will be a chance to get possession in great measure. You know what I mean? Perhaps there is an easy way to some money type of thing, right? You got an easy route to some, some level of money, right? So if you are now, it's about, weighing your needs versus what is on the table. Look to the agreement. What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? What is the terms of the agreement? What are we agreeing to? And you got to get still about that. This is a meditation piece, right? You might have to forego an offer. You know what I mean? You might have to forego something based upon not being able to see the whole. Based on the potential for the contract to not be fully disclosed, right? Make sure you are signing things with the reservation of rights, right? Without prejudice, all rights reserved, that type of stuff, right? Sign your signatures this way, folks, because they get you in contracts that they don't tell you all the details to. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, stay abreast of this stuff, right? Hexagrams 54 and 53 are complementary. The 53rd hexagram counsels the use of education, meditation, and deep protracted reflection, seker, right, on the teachings that are the support of a person's development. Yeah, so that's what it says Sebek Tem and then Seker Hetep. Seker Hetep is meditation, right? It's going into a deep, concentrated trance, right, on the matters in order to, derive clarity, right? All right. Also, Seker is the ability to halt when on your way forward, right? Yeah, Seker is slowing it down. You know what I'm saying? Play like Roy Rogers and slow down, right? Shout out to hip hop. Yeah, but this is definitely slowed down before moving because everything isn't on the table, right? The council must be added as a complement to the implementation of protocols for the regulation of people's behavior, as the latter is not enough to bring about the desired effect. Yeah. Adding the council of the 53rd hexagram to the 54th, right? 53rd hexagram, which is development, right? Natural development of things, creates a condition similar to the 31st hexagram. In the latter, we are dealing with the allowance of Twi, but is expected to be regulated by the subject through meditation and reflection. Right. Okay. Got it. But yeah, and this, this goes to everything that I was saying also about the quote-unquote jab and all of the scares and all of the crap, that they really want us to be on right now. Not expecting a whole lot of views on this video, so please like and share the video, folks, to help me out, because I'm sure that I will be hurt otherwise, right? And I ain't changing nothing. But you get, yeah. But this is speaking to some level, the whole thing, right? Speaking about Meduniter and this one here. Speaking to halting before moving, right? Based on what can't be seen, right? Yeah. Speaking also, dealing with the stories that we get that we are not being told the full truth, right? Sebek is lies, right? Yeah, Sebek is lies, you know what I mean? I hate to say it, but, sometimes be careful if you're dealing with somebody with Sebek Tem IO. You know what I mean? Because, hey, especially if they're not, on their Meduniter, right? They're not on their meditations, right? If they're not on their deen, right, then you're going to have to really, really be careful about these people who be in their negative sebek. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so discern properly this week, folks. Be on your discernment. All right, let's talk to the tarot. Oh, messed up. Okay. All right, we got 5 of Wands in the reverse. 5 of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so this is conflict, contention, right? This is, being on your rah-rah, or somebody else being rah-rah with you, right? People, coming at your neck type of thing, but this is in reverse. So there's a chance for it to go the other way, right? At the same time, the Ace of Swords pops out. On this depiction of the Ace of Swords, homegirl got her, this is is this Aries? I'm not sure which Greek god this is, but I gotta find that out. But you see her, she, it's the Ace of Swords, and she got her sword up, like she ready to fight. So this depiction of the Ace of Swords is like fighting with the truth, right? Not, or fighting using the truth, not fighting against the truth, but using the truth to get your battle on, right? Yeah. And, right, the first card was battle, right? So this is a battle that is dying because the truth is coming, right? And the third card that came out, 3 cards came out, right? Came out like this. All right, so this third card is the 3 of Pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles is like group associations, right? Group associations. So be on the lookout for some level of group associations, right? But make sure that you are dealing with the truth. Make sure you're dealing with, again, like, if I'm pairing these readings up here, right? This is like, scrutinizing the contract, right? When you're getting involved with the group, right? Scrutinizing the contract. Perhaps there is an agenda of contention afoot. So, scrutinize the contract. Scrutinize the contract, folks. All right, let's see what it says on the bottom. The Hierophants. The Hierophants. All right, so contract. Interesting the way that came out of my mouth. Contract. All right, so we see. All right, we turn it like this a little bit. We can see the paint of a 5 of swords. Yeah. Okay. Be careful. Somebody might get you in the contract and they might not have your best interest at heart. Yeah, man. And on the bottom, or not the bottom, but the last thing we see the paint is the Angel of Temperance. Right? The Temperance Angel is on the bottom here. After this, right? So we got both the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords in this reading. Right? So this is on the bottom though. The main stuff is, hey, there could be contention, right? Make sure you're scrutinizing the truth about the matter, right? And, well, you know, the group is in the upright. There's some level of group, right? And on the bottom, we're talking about the Hierophant. The Hierophant is contracts, right? Hierophant is, not only contracts, but, experts in a high standing, right? Right? But there's swords, right? There's the 5 of Swords. Somewhere in the mix is perhaps some level of competition or competing parties, right? And at the end is Temperance, so this could be a circumstance that you might have to deal with and be in your temperance strong. Right? Wise, discerning, and level-headed. Right? Yeah. This doesn't say, this is not, run away. Right? This is like deal with the conflict, in a wise way. Right? Rely on wisdom here. Rely on your ancestors. Right? This is a spiritual piece, right? You have to get spiritual with this reading with Seker on the case and the Temperance card on the case. Okay? This is like, you got to go into the inner planes and really deal with what's going on this week. Because it seems like, perhaps there is going to be something that you're faced with that you have to use the truth to navigate through. Right? And, as well, you have to use your temperance, your ability to bring calm to, your emotionalism. Pardon me. Look at that, the truth belt. Yeah. All right. So this is what it's looking like, folks. And yeah, that's what it is, right? Pretty much that's it. So we got, again, just to get a review. We got Sebek Tima'at Seker Hetep, right? Be mindful of the details, right? Be mindful of the details. Slow things down during negotiations, right? Check for things that you can't see, right? We got the 14th hexagram, line 6 and 3 and 6 into the 54. Possession in great measure, something of great value, perhaps being offered, but be mindful of the contract. Okay? Sebek Tem is not being able to see the whole. 54 is perhaps there's, holes in the agreement somewhere. So be mindful of that, right? Again, we got 5 of Wands in reverse to the Ace of Swords to the 3 of Pentacles, all falling out at the same time. Right? So we have, a situation where perhaps this conflict is not overstated. It's not externally stated. It could be someone is having a conflict with you inwardly, right? Could be that, or someone is releasing a conflict with you, right? Or trying to, or something like that, right? And, the Ace of Swords is like, yeah, be discerning. Be discerning, negotiate, but have your sword up for the BS, right? And there's the group, negotiating with a group. You know what I mean? Scrutinizing, being discerning, etc. Right? Regarding this group, okay? And the couch cards was the Hierophant, okay? Contract, light, right? The light of God, right? Going in. This is spirituality. This is dealing with contracts, right? Dealing with high people in high positions, right? Okay, and following that was the Five of Swords, right? Perhaps all of them don't like you. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe everybody in this group isn't your friend, and you have the Temperance card on the end, right? Okay, the stars there. Right, Three of Cups is in reverse. Yeah. All right, so be careful. Just be careful, right? But this is not, with the 14 on the table, the Seeker on the table, with the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords on the table. This is a circumstance. It's not necessarily a circumstance that you're going to lose with, okay? You just have to be discerning, on what it is that you agree to. Yeah. All right. So with that, folks, I'm going to call that the reading, right? We're going to check the other readings for the tarot layout, right? We're going to do a layout for each day, right? But, yeah, that's the reading here, right, for the week. Okay? All right, so, I trust that, y'all going to get y'all meditative flow on, and, everything is going to be all right. All right. So peace and love, y'all. And, yeah, we're going to do it again next week. Peace.